This camera that's in this bag, I never thought that I would actually use it, but I actually use it a lot. Honestly, it probably it competes with this camera that I'm shooting on my A7S III a lot, and it was only $50. So a couple of months ago, we actually saw on Facebook Marketplace somebody was selling this Canon SX730, and it's, I think, brand new. It's like 400 or something like that. Not too terribly expensive, but we got it for $50. And it doesn't shoot in 4K. It shoots in 1080. The image looks terrible, but we use it all the time. And I'm going to explain why I actually use this thing a lot. I actually opt out to use this more than my iPhone when I'm just getting B-roll, and there's a couple of reasons why. The first reason is this. Do you see this 40x right here? That means it's 40. It zooms in 40 times. Now it does like the lenses only can go so far, and then it starts doing an optical zoom, and the optical zoom looks pretty good for it being a camera that was like super cheap. And I use that a lot. Like in Yosemite, if you watch the video where I was talking about the story of me like hitchhiking from an airport, a lot of that was shot in Yosemite, and I didn't have a telephoto lens. I only had my iPhone, and I had this camera. So all those zoom shots were either shot on this camera or the iPhone. And it works really good. The image stabilization is pretty good on it. The low light isn't great because, I mean, it's obviously, but as long as it's kind of like with my iPhone, as long as it has good optimal lighting conditions, and I set it up for success in scenarios that I know it'll be successful, then I know it'll produce a good image. So the 40 times zoom is one of the reasons why, but there's another reason, and probably the more important reason why I use something like this, and why I think a lot of people should have like a camera that's similar to this. And that's going to be, it's very stylistic. It looks very, very nostalgic. It reminds me of the really cheap old video cameras that your dad would use, like to film Christmas morning or something like that. And for me, that's really special. And whenever I look at footage from this compared to my iPhone or my Sony, it's not that this looks better. It just it puts me in a specific mood, and it makes me really, really happy. And I can chalk that up to, it looks very, very nostalgic. So because of that, I find myself using this a lot more than I would using my iPhone. And that's why I think a lot of people, I think we get really caught up in like video specs, and like it has to look as crisp as it possibly can, like it needs to shoot in 4K or sometimes even 8K. But that's not really the point of video cameras. I think video cameras a lot like a musician choosing what kind of like acoustic guitar they're going to use. I think filmmakers or people that make videos should choose or think about what kind of mood that they want to set for the video, what kind of what they want to communicate with the video, and then from that choose what kind of camera system you're going to use. And that's what this is. This is literally a stylistic choice when I use it, and that's why I use this thing so much. And it was only $50, which is great. And you can find similar things like this on Facebook Marketplace. Just look at cheap cameras near you, and I guarantee there's going to be something similar. There's nothing special about this camera. It's just the one that we found that was $50. It does have a flip-up screen, so you can technically vlog with it. I honestly probably wouldn't, mostly just because, I mean, if I have like a really good camera like this or my iPhone or something like that, I'm going to use that for talking heads because I want those to look a specific way. And this only goes down to, I think it's like 24 millimeters, which having a 12, and then I think the iPhone's like an 11.5 wide angle, it looks a lot better with talking heads in my opinion. It is able to take SD cards. I put this ridiculous 128 gigabyte that I used for my Sony till I got new SD cards in here. We've never formatted it because with 1080p files, 128 gigs is going to last literally years. It does have a flash, like a cute little flash that sticks up. Remember those? I never use it unless like we want to try to get some kind of photos with it. It has a 1/4-20 screw at the bottom, which I do use if I want to like mount it up and have like a second angle or have like a nostalgic kind of angle for things like this. I was thinking maybe I'll try that at some point. Again, the problem is it's just This is a really like tight, in my opinion, this camera is really good for like medium to far away shots, not close-up shots, for stuff like that. It does have different modes on it. I don't really use any of them. I just use the video mode. It does have a zoom rocker, which I think helps with the nostalgia kind of vibe. And I try to use that as much as I can. Because a lot of times with these shots, like with my Sony a7S III, if you see it zooming in, it's going to be a digital, like a in post kind of thing. But this is like, there's something about being able to do it in real time that makes it really artsy and kind of contributes and enhances the overall vibe of this camera. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a great little camera. It was $50. Like new, they're like 3 or 4. If I can find something on Amazon like this, I'll put it down below, but I'm doubtful. But honestly, you don't even need this model. You can get any kind of cheap camera, and it's going to accomplish the same thing, which is just literally a vibe setting kind of camera. Okay, that's all I have for you today. Again, I'm kind of filming in the garage on top of a washer. We're leaving California in a couple of days, but I wanted to get this video shot beforehand so that it could be out on Tuesday, like I'm trying to do with these long-term reviews. If you like this and you're new to the channel, thank you for watching, and feel free to subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. It's going to be every Tuesday. I'm going to have a some kind of long-term review of a piece of gear that I like or I hate or somewhere in between. And if you're interested in that, yeah, I mean, just stick around if you want to. With that, I actually have to shoot a wedding today, so I'm gonna end this right here and go shoot that wedding. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next Tuesday.